Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Anastasia here. Today's video is a little bit different, which I like to do once in a while. It's not particularly an occult subject, although perhaps we can consider it to be a little bit esoteric in today's age. Now, the nature of the information that I'm going to share here with you is not manipulative in any way, as I know that there are other creators out there that do spread information like this for more of a manipulation sense or reasoning or purpose. Although really, this information is just basic human psychology. Although I will explain what has brought me to this understanding and which has really changed my reactions and relationships with people in my life for the better. I'll give you a little bit of a background story, I guess, of myself and what brought me to this understanding. Now, I had been somebody who had been told many times that I was socially awkward, and I didn't find myself for many years gaining the sort of reactions that I actually wanted to receive from people. And so throughout the years, I began really observing people and studying human psychology and observing human interaction for a very long time. It's something that I really enjoy to do. I like learning about people. Throughout my observations, I would say that people seem to be losing their social skills more and more, and their ability to actually connect with people on a deeper level. And although I do theorize there are a couple reasons as to why that is, after spending so much time researching but then actually implementing this practice, I noticed such a strong difference in the reaction I would actually get from people. And it's kind of funny because actually my best friend had noticed it herself in me. We had gone to a trip, I believe last year, and we were in a scenario in which we were interacting with a lot of people, a large group of people. And she looked at me and she was like, "Hey, like, you've gotten really good at speaking with people." And that was really affirming to me that, something I'm doing now is change. Something I'm doing now is right. And I'm going to share with you now what it is. It's quite simple and it's quite obvious. And I'm certain that you can find this information somewhere else and perhaps already have. But I'll share it with you myself because it has provided so much value for me. So what this simple behavioral change or technique, I guess, for better, lesser words, is that I really honed in and practice the art of becoming a better listener. I no longer approached conversations in the same way that I used to, because the way I used to do it was I didn't mean to be somebody like this or to do it this way, but I thought that in order to connect with people, I would to share a lot about myself. And if they were to say something that I could connect with, I would tell them right away, like, "Oh yeah, me too, because of this and this and this." So I would share back, I would bounce back something about myself to kind of make us seem similar in some sense. And I thought that was a way for us to kind of form some sort of connection. And, to a certain point, there is some obvious truth behind that concept. But when you're really meeting somebody new, if you want to be charming and if you want to be different, then the art of listening is really where it's at, because this is such a rare thing these days. Everybody wants to be heard. And so what you might notice, at least I have noticed, about people through my observation is that people love to talk about themselves. People love to share things about themselves. People want to be heard. There's such a lack for that in today's age because we're all kind of moving on the same wavelength of projecting that to everyone. So now, when I meet somebody, instead of sharing information about myself, I actually only ask discovery questions about them. And the way I kind of see it is that if they really want to know something about me, then they will ask me a question in return. So I don't willingly or freely share information about myself anymore unless it's actually asked for the most part. What really makes you charming and what really makes somebody like you in a sense is the way you make them feel. So if you can make somebody feel heard, if you can make somebody feel seen through hearing them, then that leaves so much of a larger imprint upon them in your impression than anything else. They're going to remember you way more because they're going to remember you as the person who actually made them feel heard, who actually wanted to get to know them. And that is a lot more memorable than spewing a bunch of information at them. It seems that many of us are all self-absorbed in some sense because it did sadden me a little bit that when I had started to do this, now not with all people, but a large amount of people will actually ask you no questions in return about them, about yourself. They would just continue talking about themselves the whole time. And, I don't think everybody's doing this on purpose. It's just they're kind of unaware of this energetic exchange that's going on throughout the conversation and connection being built. They're so used to having other people just project out information about them that they think that if you'd want to share or talk about yourself, that you just would. But what I really noticed here, for the most part, sorry if I say that a lot, is that when you give somebody the space and you hold space within yourself and you're truly listening, you're truly interested to actually get to know this person and listen to them, eventually it turns around. And then the person will actually become interested in getting to know you back. There are some individuals in which won't want to know you back. And, the term narcissist gets tossed around very loosely. And I think there's kind of like a loose term of narcissist that has been created. And then there's the actual very dangerous psychological term narcissist, which is two different things. But in the loose term, perhaps, or not, that is how you can kind of see a red flag in somebody, is if it's always just them, and they don't actually have any interest in what's going on with you. I used to be very, very shy. I still kind of am, although it's improving drastically. I used to fear social settings and conversations and meeting new people. And now I actually really enjoy it. I find it effortless and I find it fun because it's become easy to me because I don't have to go and think about what I'm going to say. I just generally want to get to know these people. And so really the stream flowing through my mind of questions to a certain extent is boundless. There's just so many things I can ask about someone. So when I enter a social setting, I don't point any attention towards myself. I'm just focusing on these people and asking them lots of questions. And I find in this sense, it's really changed the dynamic for me. It become easier this way. That's it really. It's pretty simple, although I think it's something a lot of us might not exactly think of or even realize or perhaps understand. So if you want to become more charming, just learn to listen and actually be interested, genuinely interested in other individuals. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a little like or consider subscribing. And if you'd like to hear more from me on a much more esoteric base, then please tune into my podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Wishing you a beautiful evening wherever you are in the world.